Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are systematically unpacking Dale Carnegie's absolute classic, his legendary blueprint for mastering human relations. We're going to dive right in and summarize the main idea of every single chapter. Let's start with a really fascinating question that comes straight from research by the Carnegie Foundation. What actually determines 85% of your financial success? Think about your own career for just a second. Is it your technical skill? Maybe your raw intelligence? Your fancy education? Well, incredibly, they found that 85% of success is due to skill in human engineering. Yeah, you heard that right. Only 15% comes from your actual technical knowledge. That means your personality, your ability to express ideas, and your capacity to lead people are vastly more profitable than just pure technical know-how. And that staggering realization brings us right to our source material for today, Dale Carnegie's legendary textbook on human engineering. Like I mentioned, we are going to break this whole thing down, giving you the main idea of every single chapter. To do this efficiently, we've structured our explainer around the 4 thematic pillars of the book. First, handling people fundamentally. Second, making people like you. Third, winning people over. And fourth, becoming an effective leader. All right, part 1, handling people fundamentally, the human engineering secret. Let's look at how dealing with people actually requires us to completely rewire our natural, impulsive instincts. Take the infamous two-gun Crowley, for example. Even when he was completely trapped by police, this notoriously violent criminal still didn't blame himself. And honestly, it just proves that criticizing others is entirely futile. Because think about it, if a hardened, violent criminal won't accept blame, your colleagues and family members certainly aren't going to either. Criticism just puts people on the defensive. It wounds their precious pride. So the big takeaway here is that we've got to replace criticism with appreciation. But, and this is a huge but, Carnegie strictly warns us against flattery. Flattery is totally insincere and it's pretty universally condemned. It's really just cheap praise, telling the other person exactly what they already think about themselves. It's counterfeit praise from the teeth out. Because applying these principles, it's not about throwing on a mask of cheap manipulation. It's about adopting a genuinely unselfish new way of life and doing it from the heart out. Genuine appreciation means we actually have to stop thinking about ourselves for a minute and truly focus on the other person's good points. Okay, so to summarize the main ideas from these first 3 chapters, your fundamental rules are super simple. 1, stop criticizing, condemning, or complaining. 2, offer honest and sincere appreciation. And 3, always frame your requests by arousing an eager want in the other person. You have to figure out what they want, not what you want, and then show them exactly how to get it. Moving right along to section 2, making people like you. The power of genuine interest. Let's dive into some incredibly simple yet wildly neglected ways to build immediate rapport and lasting friendships. I absolutely love this historical anecdote. A simple act of a teacher showing appreciation for a young blind boy's totally unique gift of hearing literally unlocked his potential. It set young Stevie Morris on the exact path to becoming the music superstar we know today as Stevie Wonder. Nourishing someone's self-esteem by focusing on their unique traits pays out incredible dividends. So how do we summarize the main ideas across the 6 chapters of this section? It really boils down to these universal keys for connection. You've got to become genuinely interested in others, smile, remember that a person's name is the absolute sweetest sound in any language to them, be a good listener, talk in terms of their interests, and always make them feel genuinely important. Which brings us to section 3. Winning people to your way of thinking, the art of gentle persuasion. Now, this is our largest section, and it tackles exactly how to persuade people and gain their cooperation without building up a massive wall of resentment. The opera tenor Jan Peerce actually had this strict 50-year marriage pact. When one person yells, the other person has to just listen. Why? Because you can literally never win an argument by fighting. When 2 people are yelling, there's just noise, right? There's zero actual communication happening. You really have to avoid arguments at all costs. And these first 6 chapters on persuasion totally prove that tact and diplomacy are going to win every single time. Avoid arguments entirely. Never explicitly say you're wrong. And look, if you happen to be wrong, just admit it quickly. Begin every interaction in a friendly way, get them saying yes, yes, right off the bat, and let them do the lion's share of the talking. Building on that for the remaining 6 chapters in this section, you've really got to challenge yourself to use empathy and even a bit of dramatic showmanship. If you want true cooperation, let them feel like the idea was theirs all along. See things from their perspective, be sympathetic, appeal to their nobler motives, and hey, if all else fails, throw down a challenge to ignite their natural desire to excel. Finally, we reach section 4, becoming an effective leader, changing behavior without resentment. Here is where we examine how to be a true leader, someone who can correct mistakes and change attitudes, all while fiercely protecting the other person's pride. Think about the industrialist Charles Schwab. When he caught his employees flagrantly violating a no-smoking rule, he didn't point his finger and start yelling. Nope. Instead, he handed them cigars and kindly asked if they'd smoke them outside. He corrected the mistake indirectly. He let them save face, and in the process, actually made them admire him. Pretty brilliant. To summarize the main ideas from every single chapter in this final leadership section, you basically just need this roadmap for lifting people up. Always begin with praise. Call out mistakes indirectly. Talk about your own mistakes before you even touch on theirs, and ask questions instead of just barking orders. By letting them save face and praising every little improvement, you can actually change behavior without arousing even a single drop of resentment. As we wrap up this explainer, there's this one core truth from the text that serves as the ultimate engine driving all of Carnegie's principles. Action springs out of what we fundamentally desire. If you want to influence anyone, you absolutely must frame the interaction around what they want. So, here's the ultimate challenge I'm leaving you with today. How are you going to step out of your own perspective and actively test this new way of life? Look back at the main chapter ideas we've just summarized. Pick just one. Literally just one. Use it in your very next conversation today and watch the magic happen. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.